Hello everyone, welcome to this video on deploying a LAMP stack with Terraform. Wait, not that lamp. There we go, that's more like it. So a LAMP stands for Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP, and it forms the backbone of many web server applications. So in today's demo, we are first going to have some Terraform code, and we're going to have a shell script that's going to install Apache, MariaDB, which is our MySQL server, and PHP on the Google Cloud instance that we are deploying to Terraform. We're going to use an SSH key pair to run this shell script to run this shell script on the remote instance. We will use a Terraform block known as a remote exec professional to be able to do so. And then we run the regular Terraform commands of init, format, plan, and apply. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the demo. Now we're in Visual Studio Code. Let's start this demo by first developing the shell script that we're going to use to install Apache, MariaDB, which is our SQL server, and PHP. We begin our shell scripts with the shebang and the bin bash for the bash interpreter. Our first step is to update the packages on the system, so sudo apt-get update. Then next, we'll go ahead and install Apache MariaDB, which is our SQL server, PHP, and the necessary PHP components to work with the SQL and Apache. So sudo apt-get install -y Apache, then MariaDB server, which is a MySQL server, PHP, then PHP-MySQL, and lib apache2 mod php. Okay, once that's done, we need to ensure that these services come up every time the system's booted up. So we need to enable these services, and we'll also go ahead and start these services. So systemctl enable apache2, systemctl start apache2, systemctl enable MySQL, and systemctl start MySQL. With this, we will have the required web server and the MySQL server running. Now, to ensure that PHP is also running, we'll add an additional endpoint to the web server to be able to see the PHP info. We can do that with the following command. And with that, our shell script is complete. The first step in our Terraform configuration file is to include the Google provider because we will be deploying a Google Compute Cloud instance. Inside the Google provider, we will need to provide the project to which we want to deploy the resources and the region information. With that done, we can get started on our resource block. So here we're going to have a resource block, which is the Google Compute Instance resource, and we'll name our resource block as LAMP. Okay, now within the resource block, we will specify the configuration parameters for this Google Compute instance. Inside the access config, you can specify an IP if you'd like to do so. If not, Google provides you with an ephemeral IP. For this instance, we want to remotely run the shell script that we have on our local machine. So in order to authenticate to the remote instance, we will need to generate a key pair and copy the public key to the remote instance. We can do this with the SSH keygen command. Here I have SSH keygen with the RSA type key pair and my destination for the key pair specified. So once that's done, I can go ahead and hit enter. I'm going to overwrite it and I'm going to leave the passphrase as empty, and then the key pair has been generated in this location. Now to copy this key pair to the remote instance, I'm going to use a metadata block. Here we first specify the name of the user, which is going to be Debian, and then the public key file location. The next step is to run the shell script that we've developed on the remote instance. We can do this with the remote exec provisioner. So for this, remote exec. Here, network interfaces or network interface and in square bracket 0 means we're referring to the first network interface of the Google Compute instance LAMP instance. This is because network interface is a zero index list. And it's the same with the access config as well. Now the last step here is to add HTTP server and HTTPS server tags to this instance. The reason for doing that is to allow HTTP and HTTPS traffic through the firewall on the public IP. With that, we've completed the resource definition for our Google Compute instance. Once the instance has been deployed, we would like to know the public IP of the instance so we can easily access it without having to refer to the console. So we can do this by either scouring through the state file, or more conveniently, we can give ourselves an output. So let's go ahead and create the output block. And with that, we've completed our Terraform configuration file definition. Let's go ahead and run the Terraform commands to deploy this. So first command is terraform init to download the provider. Then we'll go ahead and run terraform format to make the alignment perfect. Then we'll go ahead and run terraform validate to validate our code. And once that's ready, we can go ahead and run terraform plan. And upon inspection, we can see that everything's good. We are going to deploy one Google Compute instance, and it's going to be called the lamp-instance. Okay, let's go ahead and run Terraform apply now. I'm going to also give an auto approve so I don't have to type in yes. Okay, now we can see that the deployment has been completed successfully, and we've also received our instance IP output. We can verify the deployment by copying the instance IP, opening a new browser tab. We can see the Apache landing page. We can also ensure the php info.php page. So with this, we receive the PHP information and can confirm that PHP has also been installed successfully. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one.